With only $5 in her pocket, the poor girl steps into the café for her blind date carrying more than just financial worry. She carries years of quiet struggle, resilience, and hope. The soft clinking of cups and low hum of conversation around her only deepen her anxiety. Every glance at the menu reminds her of what she cannot afford, making her feel painfully out of place among people who seem confident, comfortable, and carefree. Yet instead of pretending or exaggerating who she is, she chooses honesty. She orders simply, speaks gently, and holds her head high despite the fear of being judged. In a world obsessed with status, branded clothes, and expensive choices, her grace becomes her quiet strength. She doesn't complain, doesn't seek sympathy, and doesn't try to impress anyone with false stories. Her self-respect shines through small actions, thanking the waiter sincerely, listening attentively, and treating everyone around her with kindness. These subtle moments reveal a depth of character that wealth could never purchase. While others may measure worth by money or appearances, she proves that true value is reflected in humility, integrity, and how one carries oneself during uncomfortable moments. This humble beginning becomes a powerful reflection of who she truly is. Her situation could have made her bitter or ashamed, but instead it reveals courage and emotional maturity. She shows that dignity is not something granted by success, it is something chosen, even in the hardest circumstances. Unknowingly, the simple, yet honest moment sets the stage for a turning point, reminding us that real character is most visible not when life is easy, but when someone has very little and still chooses grace. Asterisk at the next table sits a man no one pays much attention to, a quiet, well-dressed single dad who blends easily into the background. To the world, he appears like any other customer enjoying a brief escape from responsibility. But behind his calm presence lies the weight of leadership loss, and the constant challenge of raising a child alone while running a powerful company. Years of success have taught him how to read people quickly, yet they have also made him cautious, even guarded. Wealth has brought comfort, but not always clarity or connection. As he waits, his attention is subtly drawn to the young woman nearby. He notices the hesitation in her movements, the way she studies the menu carefully, and the small sigh she exhales when she makes her choice. Instead of judgment, he feels curiosity and something deeper. He recognizes struggle not because he is poor, but because life has humbled him in other ways. What truly captures his attention is not her situation, but her response to it. She treats the staff with respect, smiles despite her nerves, and carries herself with a quiet dignity that feels rare. He doesn't interrupt or announce who he is. He simply observes in her. He sees values money cannot create: strength without arrogance, humility without weakness, and compassion without expectation. These qualities remind him of what truly matters, especially for the future he hopes to build for his child. In that silent observation, something shifts. Without a single word exchanged, her authenticity challenges his assumptions and reawakens a belief he had almost forgotten, that the richest connections in life are born not from wealth, but from character. Asterisk what begins as an ordinary evening, just another quiet cafe visit, another blind date filled with uncertainty, slowly transforms into a moment neither of them could have predicted. There is no dramatic announcement, no sudden revelation at first. Instead, change arrives gently, through a small, unexpected act, a conversation overheard, a kind gesture extended, or a silent decision made from the heart becomes the turning point. In that brief moment, the invisible distance between two very different lives begins to close. For the girl, this encounter becomes more than a coincidence. It restores something she didn't realize she was losing: hope. Being seen not for her lack of money, but for her integrity and grace reminds her that her struggles have not defined her worth. The kindness she experiences becomes a source of healing, easing the quiet loneliness and self-doubt she has carried for years. It reassures her that staying true to herself, even when life is hard, has meaning and power. For the single dad CEO, this moment stirs a long-buried sense of purpose. Witnessing genuine character in such an unguarded setting reminds him of the values he wants to pass on to his child: honesty, humility, and compassion. It challenges his carefully controlled world and opens his heart to the possibility of connection beyond status or success. That one unexpected moment becomes a bridge to something greater: new opportunities, emotional healing, and a future shaped not by wealth, but by shared values. In the end, it proves that when character leads the way, even the most ordinary moments can change everything.